All right, day 3 of 100 days of Zero to Builder. We're supposed to talk about strings and variables. I'm not going to teach you strings and variables because this is using AI to pair code as your pair coder. AI is going to take care of all the details around strings and variables. We'll show a use case for it, but it is important to understand strings and variable as you're reading code. AI will not always get things right. Remember when I said you have to always test your code? We're going to switch over to Cursor AI. We're going to take our basic Hello World program and we're going to ask AI to enhance it by prompting the user for their name and birthday. All right, so Cursor was pretty quick, came up with some really interesting ideas on how to implement our ask. But what I want to focus on are some of the variables that it created. So it created a variable called name, which is going to be an input from the user console, and then it's going to reuse that name later on in the code. So let's accept the changes and give it a try. All right, it's asking us to insert our name. Birthday and format. Let's make something up. Oh, invalid format. So there's exception handling already in here. Hello, Keith. In 3 years, you will be cut off. Let's get that in there. You will be 48 years old. So there's the power of variables, this thing that holds values, strings, arrays, objects. Well, you'll learn a lot of that as you look on other sites about that. But when we ask AI to create something, it by default uses these variables that we can then either run expressions on, we can later reference. This is important for when you do integration and integration testing, to know what variables are being used, if they're the right type of variables, if they're literally the right caps. If you're working with other languages and these variables needs to be initialized, the syntax, AI pretty much this day, when you're using one of the modern AI tools, especially when you're watching this video, will take care of that stuff. But still really important stuff to remember. So the challenge for today is still to play around with your code, your Hello World program. You just saw an example of what I did. What are some of the more creative ways that you can use variables to extend this program? I would say, you know what? It would be interesting for you to try to be able to do this from the command line. So basically, enter your day, your name, your date of birth from the command line, and then have Python spit out the actual text that I just did. That would be a pretty interesting challenge.